took basic training at Fort Hood, Texas, and we had some pretty rough training. We took 25-mile hikes, and then sometimes we took a 9-mile speed march. That was pretty rough, and most of them kind of fell out. Then we went actually to New York. We got on a ship, actually a replacement regiment, and then we went overseas, and we, of course, was seasick for about 4 days, and lived on crackers and water. And as we were going over, they about 2 o'clock in the morning, they said we prepared to abandon ship, and we thought that we were being attacked or something, but they said some guy had set a fire on the deck, I guess. And after we got out there, why they realized it, so we sent us back. And landed in Scotland on my 19th birthday. And from there we took a train to England. And then we spent about 2 nights in England, and was crossed the English Channel over to France. And then we took a train, one of those, what they call 40 by 8, I think it was 40 people or 8 horses or something. It was kind of a primitive type train that we took going to Belgium. And then we got our trucks and our guns, and we had a 6x6 truck, 6 wheels and all driving. And we had a 57 millimeter anti-tank gun that we pulled behind it. Then from Belgium we went up to the front lines. And one of the first things I saw was a Jeeps sitting beside the road, and there was 2 German soldiers in there, but their heads had been blown off. For a guy that almost passed out when I saw somebody with a little blood, why? But I got used to it, I guess, so you never get used to it. But anyway, first night was on guard duty. We were on 2 hours and off 4. And the guy come in to get me the first time along about midnight, and he said I heard some gunfire, and he said there's a sniper that was shooting at that particular house. We were in a house where we stayed. So I went out on guard duty, and that was kind of rough going on guard duty when the guy said that the guy that was shooting at he had been hitting near the house. So I did a lot of shaking and a lot of praying. But anyway, made it through that. Then we went on. We were moving rather fast. Actually, this was right after the bulge. And that's the reason we were over there, because there were so many of our men were killed. And that's when I joined the 104th Infantry Division. And one time we stopped in town and stopped to check a building, and when we come back, we heard some gunfire or something. There was a gun that was lying right where we'd been sitting, had been hit. So we were lucky that we had moved out right at that time. And we were there, and I was on guard duty this one morning, and we had a telephone, and they called and it was a foggy morning. They said that there were German soldiers coming across the field. And so I woke everybody up and looked, but they were carrying a white flag. And so they got close. Once we noticed that one of the guys, they all had their hands up. This one guy had a pistol in his hand. He was kind of aiming it down. And the guy, not too far from me, close to me, took his rifle and shot him through his hand. He dropped his gun. I mean, we took some prisoners. And I was just over there about 5 months. And I got to within about 30 miles of Berlin. And they had to stop. And the Russian soldiers went on in and took Berlin, actually. And I know I stood on a bridge all day, I suppose about 8 hours or more, 10 hours, I think. And did nothing but stand there, and there was prisoners, German prisoners. I would I don't know how many. There were just groups of maybe 100 or several times. I don't know if there was probably 800 prisoners went through there, maybe more, that day. They were coming from Berlin. We were on I believe it's the Elbe River where we were stopped at that time. That's the Russians took over Berlin. And then it wasn't too long afterwards, the war was over there. They won that one. And since I'd only been there for 5 months, went back pretty soon, within a couple of months. Anyway, I went, when the first ones come back to the States, and I went to California. And I was getting ready, our group was getting ready to go to Japan. And I saw the papers, the orders, that we were to be in on the second wave of the invasion of Japan. And then the atomic bomb dropped. What a horrible thing the atomic bomb was, but you know, I have mixed feelings because it not only killed far too many people, but it also probably saved the lives of a lot of Americans and probably some other Japanese, I'm sure. But anyway, the war was over then.